Hello, hello, my friends. Hello, let's talk about sketchbook, shall we? Hey, how you doing? I have so many sketchbook that I thought it could be nice to show you the one that I'm in use that I'm using right now. Because, well, let's be real. First of all, you're gonna buy so many sketchbook just because. And then, yeah, you're gonna have so many sketchbooks, and usually the feeling are these: oh, this sketchbook is cheap, let's use it for everything. Oh, this is freaking expensive, I'm only using it for specific tasks that are going to be super beautiful. So there will be a super messy sketchbook, then a non-messy sketchbook, then the sketchbook that you are gonna show to your friends and family when they are asking you, hey, how is your heart going? And then the more realistic one that, yeah, you kind of feel ashamed of them. But yeah, let's talk about sketchbook. Just for you to know, some of the sketchbook are extremely cheap, some of them are extremely expensive. Well, kind of extremely expensive, depending on your definition of expensive or cheap, of course. But I want to give you like an overview of kind of all of them. Most probably there will be no link about these products because I bought them randomly all around the world, I would say. So, well, at least Europe. So, yeah, I'm not even sure I have anything. But still, some of them might be very easy to find. I can show you the brands. So, yeah, let's start. Okay? So, which one do we start? Well, let's start chronologically. This has been my very first sketchbook, actually. This is from Moleskine. It's not cheap, if you ask me. Moleskine, in general, they do super nice notebook in general, like sketchbook, notebook, whatever. But they are not cheap, okay? It was just black, but at some point I have some acrylic painting and I was like, whoa, that's fun. But I feel that it's so nice. The paper, it's 190 gram per M2, that it's a very nice and thick paper. It's kind of the smooth size and it's not white, it's a little bit off-white. But the thing is that the paper quality, it's so nice when you start sketching. And I have the feeling that it's one of the best sketchbook I had. It's just that I'm like, yeah, I don't want to spend so much money on a sketchbook. But it's a very, very, very nice sketchbook. Like if you don't have a problem of money, if you want to treat yourself, this is a very nice sketchbook. It's a very nice also shape. Like it fits for me in, well, jacket pocket, I would say, or in general in a small bag. And that's very nice because then it's easy to carry around. At the same time, with this sketchbook, I felt like, hey, I want to have freedom to do random stuff. Like sometimes it's gonna be very nice, sometimes it's gonna be absolutely not nice. Sometimes I'm gonna try weird combination of colors. Sometimes I'm gonna try very nice combination of colors. Okay, sometimes it's gonna sketch people around the town, or sometimes it's just random people in Japan, or moment in Italy, or this was, for example, stand-up night in which I was sitting on the table with all my friends around and I was the one sketching. So my opinion about this sketchbook, it's that it's super good. Okay, if I will have all the money in the world, I will always buy this specific sketchbook because it's that good. Like the quality of the paper is then still, no matter how much water you put in there. Well, of course, it's not too much water. It's like not incredibly stubborn paper for watercolor. But I would say that you can create such a nice effect, even if, you with no effort, I would say, okay? It goes well also with acrylic markers. This has been done, for example, with acrylic markers, because at some point I want to try those. But yeah, my main thing is watercolor, so yeah, definitely would recommend it for watercolor or in general for sketching. The only thing is that if you really like cold press paper that is a little bit rough, with a little bit texture, this has no texture whatsoever. It's super smooth, okay? So maybe it's not the sketchbook for you. But again, I think that it's very nice and that you can do nice things with watercolor, having a little bit of fun with, even if it's very, very smooth, you can have fun with this, okay? And that's it for this one. Moleskine. Moleskine, the art collection. It's when you go to a store that has Moleskine, he does this bend here, like label here, and it's kind of this color, the art collection. I think it was around 20 euro or something, so more than $20, but I think it's great. So if you find a clearance of those, like buy all of them. Then let's go to actually something that is actually made for watercolor. This is from, maybe I can put it in the right way, Canson, I guess it's called. I bought it when I was in UK for work. There were such a great art supply store there, and I was like, that's so nice. I don't remember how much was the price, and I think I don't have it. Usually I keep it there, you know, how much I paid, but not in this case, apparently. Yeah, I don't remember how much I paid for this. But, let me show you. This is a very good example. So, the paper itself, it's a little bit rough. So it has a little bit texture. That means that you can play around with watercolor. It's very thick paper. I think it's 250, something like that. So it's very nice because it's very thick. I love the shape of it. First of all, I love to bring things around on my huge pocket of my jacket, and this fit nicely. Well, the pocket is like this, but it fits. I actually go around the stores putting sketchbook on my pockets, and I'm pretty sure at some point somebody's gonna stop me and be like, hey, are you trying to steal that sketchbook? And I'm not, no, I'm gonna try if it fits in my pockets. So yeah, back to this. It's very, very nice. With watercolor, it works so nicely. Look at these trees here. It's so nice because you can have multiple layers of water, and the paper itself absorb the pigment. So it's incredibly nice because when you have like this kind of paper, it feels like the color sits on top of the paper, if that makes sense. So sometimes it's harder to get maybe shadows or something like that when you are on a hurry. Like right now, if I apply another layer on this layer, for sure we'll have nice shadow and stuff like that. But most of the time I'm just painting something, and then I'm on the go, and bye and this is done. Okay. But in this case, I spent so much time on a bench, on a park, because it was so nice to work with this paper here. It was absorbing the pigment, so even if I was going back to, like, I let it set for a little bit, and then I was going back, maybe doing the next one, and yeah, it was an amazing feeling. One of the things is that one side of the paper, I don't know if you can see it, but one side of the paper has texture, but then the other side have a different texture that is more rough. It's not like Arches paper, in which you feel like genuinely rough with a little bit of, how can I say? Let me show you. Like, you know, when you have this kind of paper that it's very inconsistent, but that's the thing that makes it beautiful, because it has like a different texture and stuff like that. While in this one, it is rough, so there is texture here, but it feels like the paper is being printed to a press, and the press have the texture. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of that, because I really prefer the paper to be more natural and not some sort of fixed pattern that feels to me like something that it's non-natural, if it makes sense. I have the feeling that nature in general doesn't do straight angles, like 90 degrees angles. Okay, it's a little bit inconsistent, and it's like it goes all over the place and all over the texture and these kind of things. But with this paper, it's, yeah, the texture is that. But again, it's an amazing sketchbook. It's so convenient to bring it with you. I'm pretty sure I haven't paid more than 20 euro for this one. And the fact that one page has a rougher texture and the next one has a more smooth, it's more on the smoother side, not smooth, but on the smoother side, could be actually nice, because if you want to explore different styles, then, you know, maybe you can try, okay, I want to try trees, let's see how it goes with the texture. Like in this case, I don't know if you can see it, but here, for example, you can see that the pigment basically sets inside this texture here, and I don't really like this. But on this one, on the other hand, that is the smoother one, I have not at all that feeling. So I'd rather prefer to walk around with this. But yeah, super nice, super nice. The brand I already saw cans on. No idea the size of this, but I would say maybe 15 centimeters. Maybe I have a ruler. Haha! Back to school. This is 15 and this is 21 to 21 and a half. Odd. But yeah, very, very convenient. Oh, maybe you want the size also of this one. This one was 11 something, more on the 12 side, for 18. This is definitely 18. Yeah. Then, let's go cheap. Let's go super cheap. You're on a budget. You want to start to play around with things, but you don't want to spend money on it. That's good. You want to see if you are able to sketch, but you don't want to feel the pressure of having spent so much money on a sketchbook. That is great. Well done. Keep going. This is definitely the sketchbook for you. This is from Tiger, okay? It's incredibly small, so it's 10 centimeter per 15 centimeter, a postcard basically. It doesn't have this. I bought it because I'm always around with pens and I needed somewhere to carry the pen since this thing doesn't have anything like that. So I bought this thing that is removable so I can use it in another sketchbook. It's very nice. I really like it. But anyway, so this is from Tiger. I think it's like a couple of euro. It's extremely cheap. The quality is extremely cheap. The paper is basically the paper of a printer, okay? It's so thin that if you look at it too intensely, it's gonna dissolve. But on the other hand, if you're just looking for a very cheap and easy sketchbook that you can carry literally on your pocket and just go around town and sketch random things that you see. One of the things that I love to do, for example, is being on a metro or on a tram or whatever and just sketch people that I see around town, you know? This is perfect because it literally fits your pocket. And again, the quality of the paper is like, it's not meant to be for watercolor. I think it's not even meant to be for sketching, to be honest, because it's so transparent, okay? I don't know if you see it, but you can literally see what's in the next page, okay? But keep in mind that sometimes it doesn't matter because you just want to sketch. You don't give a shit if it's a good sketch or a bad sketch or whatever. You don't care. You just want to, just sit on a tram, don't think about anything, listen to a podcast, look around you, sketch the people that are sitting in front of you. You don't care. And this is definitely a you don't care sketchbook, okay? I think that's the reason why it exists. If you want to use it as a sketchbook, it's very, very nice and it's extremely convenient. Like, I literally have this always on a pocket and I don't feel guilty when I have something that is unbelievably ugly, but maybe I wanted to try something new. Or just, taking notes or something. It's just there and it's so nice, and then when there is a day in which you want to try more things, like more complex thing, and you stay there for longer or just take a reference and sketch that, it can handle a little bit of water. You need to be very good, because at the beginning when I start to use this, I immediately basically throw in on draw, because I try to use watercolor. I try to use watercolor. I was very at the beginning of my watercolor life and journey, and I was like, oh my god, the water is going on the other page. It's so bad. It wrinkles a lot. And yeah, this is not meant to be. And I, toss it in a drawer, and I was like, bye. And then recently I was like, you know what? I really need something that is very small, because I just want to use it when I'm on a metro or something. And this was great. And then I, most importantly, realized that my control over the water that I use in watercolor has improved so much so that I can actually use these, even if it's a very teeny tiny paper, to create something when I'm around town. And I think it's great because, for example, in this case, I sketched when I was in the metro, just sitting on the metro, looking around people. Like, this is something that I do a lot. The thing is that sometimes people are looking at me, and sometimes I feel like a little bit intimidating on, sketching people looking at them. So I just sit behind them. And then when I have time, I have time actually to sit on a cafe or whatever, and it's very nice Sunday, and I just want to play around with watercolor, I just fill it in. And it's so satisfying because, you create the sketch when you're around town, and then one day you're like, hey, I want to play around just with watercolor, nothing else. But I don't want to sketch everything from the beginning. Boom, you have this. It's basically your own, those coloring book in which, you have all the line art and you have to fill it in. Do it yourself. Buy yourself a sketchbook, sketch around town, and then whenever you feel like, hey, today is a watercolor day, just go and have watercolor. By the way, it's this color palette here. I decided is this sketchbook color palette apparently because I love it so much. It's so beautiful, right? Nice. We can talk about that as well. And then let's go to the next one. This one is actually meant to be for, going around town use. It's from, if I read it in the language of the country that is, in which I am now, it would be Runen. But if it's in English, maybe it's Riemann. But I am Italian, so I will pronounce it as it will be in Italian. Riemann. Riemann. I don't know how to pronounce this thing. It has this nice feature here that, I think it's meant to be not to destroy this kind of flexible cover. I don't know, it's just look fancy. For this one, I'm sure I have the price here. Boutique in London, same art store than before. Oh no, it was another art store. So basically I went to London and for just 3 days. And I before going there, I checked all the art supply stores that were in town, like closer to where I was, and I checked all of them and I bought things on each and every single one of them. This one was £6, £5.99. If you want, you can also check the address in case you're in London, but this was a very small place, so I wouldn't suggest you to actually go to this place. But at least this place had this nice thing here, and it was only £6. That is around 7-8 euro. Okay. The paper itself, it's kind of, I think it was 120, something like that. It's a very versatile sketchbook. A little bit the idea of the tiger one, the very small one that I was showing you before. The thing is that the paper is definitely thicker than the other one. It can handle a little bit better the colors. It's a little bit on the transparent side, and I feel it's exactly the same concept of the tiger one. You carry around with you just, when you're around town and you're just sketching random things that you see around you, even incredibly ugly stuff. It does its job. I have the feeling that the paper is not the smoother, so if you like more the smooth side, maybe don't go with this one. On the other hand, I really like how ink in general, like in this case, I had this pen from Pentel, I guess. I should have it in here. Yeah. This is one of my obsession at the moment. It's brush sign pen pigment Cespis from Pentel. It's super nice because it has a flexible nib. Okay, so you can go very, thin, but also go very narrow like this to create stuff. And it's water resistant, so you can use watercolor on top of it. Ta-da! So give it a try as well. I have the feeling that at the moment I'm a little bit neglecting this one just because I fell in love again with the Tiger one. Well, not again, it was fell in love for the first time with Tiger one. So yeah. And sometimes there are silly things in my town. Like in this case, I went to this cafe in which in the evening they were doing an event for which you have to draw fantastic animal, and then you have to give your sketchbook to somebody else, and that somebody else has to sketch something. And so that's why there are completely different styles in this page. But then the prompt was like, hey, what happens if this one and this one and this one get together and create a new species, and now you have this one, and then what happens if you have this and this together, they create a new species. It was a very funny experience. It was called Drink and Draw. I think it's very fun thing to do with friends, or even alone, because at some point you're gonna give your sketchbook to somebody else, and that somebody else is gonna fill your sketchbook with stuff. So if you're very jealous about your sketchbook, don't go in this one. Sometimes you create nightmare. They wake you up at night. Of course, because why not? This is a sketchbook. That's exactly what is meant to do. Or sometimes you just go around London and Camden Town and draw Camden Town. Or have an existing crisis because you find out that the ink is not water resistant. So the moment you try to use it, it bleeds away. But yeah, this is it from this one. I'm pretty sure at some point in the future I'm gonna fall in love again with this one, because when I bought it I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And now I'm like, yeah, I need other things. But that's it for the portable one. Let's talk about the non-portable one. Well, it's portable if you have a bag, I guess. But look how cool this is. This is actually, I think you can find it only, I've been told you can find it only in AliExpress or Temu, I guess. I don't know. I don't go to this website usually, but I've been told that this can be found there. It's literally called Sketchbook. So the brand also is called Sketchbook. So there is nothing more than this, I can tell you. Like literally there is nothing in here, okay? Nothing at all. But the thing is that the bookstore in my town at some point was selling it for a super cheap price. The whole thing, okay, it's thick. It's a lot of space to draw, okay, and it has this super cool side. It was only 10 euro. So I didn't have any sketchbook that was big because I usually don't use big sketchbook. And I was like, hell, 10 euro? Oh, I love it. Let's go. And it's actually very nice. Sometimes if you want to have a little bit more space to explore new things, it could be very nice, to have a session of study, because then you can try different things and then take notes and then try other things and then take notes. It's very nice sometimes to have a very big space. I think it handles the water pretty well. Pretty well if you consider it is an extremely thin paper, okay? So for sure, if you want to go crazy with watercolor, maybe you go with this one, not with this one. But still, you can obtain nice results. And I think if you have a little bit of control on the water, then it's gonna be kind of okay to create stuff with this paper. And it's gonna wave a lot, become a lot wavy, winkly, weirdly. What is in English? Write it in a comment, please, what word I'm looking for that makes the paper not flat anymore. Yeah, you got it right, please write it in the comment. But yeah, I really don't mind, because again, I feel like this sketchbook is one of those in which I'm like, I just want to have fun, and I just want to play around with things, and I want to try new pens and new styles and new colors and blah blah blah. So I really don't care if it becomes like clear, yeah, right? So yeah, really like this one. It's extremely cheap if you think about how big this thing is. So yeah, I think for now this is it. I actually have more sketchbooks, but I haven't used them recently, so I'm not gonna talk about things that, well, I lost contact with basically. But in the future I might make another video about this. One of the things that I'm gonna probably do this week, since I'm on a holiday, is to do, I found this in an art supply store. This is 250 gram paper. I really loved, you know, the color itself, but also the fact that it's not one single color, it's so many different colors. I'm pretty sure in English there is a better way to say what I'm trying to say. Please comment and tell me. But my plan is with this paper is actually, I'm gonna try to make a sketchbook with with this kind of technique. I find out on YouTube there are so many videos about how to make this, so I'm gonna give it a try. And since I like both, like more space, bigger sketchbook and also smaller sketchbook, my plan is to, I have like, I think 10 papers or something. Half of them will become this format and the other half will become this format. And then I'm gonna try to make some art out of it. I don't know, because I have some gouache that I want to try, and I thought that it would be nice to try gouache instead of just a white paper on a, you know, very cool texture, different colors and shades paper. And it's very fragile as a paper, but I tested at the store. They gave me a sample and it was working with my watercolor, so I was like, yeah, if it works with watercolor, it's gonna work with gouache, that I've never basically used, but I'm gonna learn how to use them. Okay, bye. Let me know if you want to see a video on how to make a sketchbook out of paper. I could consider make one if there is some interest and if I want to record it. Otherwise, have a lovely day, evening, night, morning, depending where are you. Bye.